Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion.
I'm getting beard on you today.
I would not blame the average person for looking at this and how it's been covered and not think that it is Hollywood brats at their worst.
Casting Blake Lively, super intimidating. First of all, I remember our first meeting, I was so nervous.
And money is on Blake Lively. No matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
This is like a Hollywood true crime. We're getting pieces coming out.
Right.
Every lawsuit and every complaint that are filling us in on what actually happened. And that's what I think myself and so many people are invested in. I didn't know who this Justin Baldoni guy was. No offense, didn't really care.
Right.
But the more I'm learning about what Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds seemingly did, they're trying to cover up a crime. That's what I really do think is happening here.
The legal battle between Ryan Reynolds and Justin Baldoni has intensified, evolving from a quiet dispute into a full-blown public spectacle. This isn't a recent development. The conflict has been simmering beneath the surface for quite some time. Initially, public opinion firmly favored Reynolds and his wife, Blake Lively. The specifics of the case remained largely undisclosed, allowing the couple to maintain a seemingly unblemished image. They appeared to be the wronged parties, and Baldoni remained relatively silent, leading many to believe he was on the defensive. However, the narrative has taken a dramatic turn. Baldoni, seemingly pushed to the brink, recently orchestrated a calculated leak of confidential evidence. This wasn't a haphazard release of information. It was a strategic maneuver, meticulously planned to dismantle the prevailing narrative and construct a compelling counter-argument. He methodically presented this evidence, effectively building his own case and exposing potential inconsistencies in Reynolds and Lively's position. The impact of this leak has been significant. Public sentiment, once a bastion of support for Reynolds and Lively, has begun to waver. Doubt has crept in, and the court of public opinion is now reconsidering its verdict. This shift in perception has reportedly infuriated Reynolds, who is now said to be confronting Baldoni directly. Sources suggest that Reynolds is demanding answers, seeking an explanation for this very public betrayal and the subsequent damage to his and Lively's reputation. The tension between these two figures, once a subtle undercurrent, has now erupted into open conflict, promising a dramatic and potentially damaging showdown. The stakes are high, and the future of this protracted legal battle remains uncertain. But before we get into it, let me give you the details. Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, who worked together on the It Ends With Us movie, are now sworn enemies locked in this absolutely insane legal battle. Lively is alleging some seriously heavy stuff, that Baldoni harassed her on set, and then, when she spoke up, launched a full-blown smear campaign to destroy her career. She's painting him as this manipulative Hollywood power player who position. And Baldoni, he's not taking it lying down. He's come out swinging with a massive $400 million defamation and extortion lawsuit, claiming Lively's accusations are completely fabricated and that she's the one trying to manipulate the situation for financial gain. He's even pulled her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and their high-powered publicist, Leslie Sloan, into the mess, claiming they're all part of this elaborate scheme to extort him. Can you even imagine the Thanksgiving dinners that family must be having right now? But wait, there's more. Baldoni's also going after the New York Times for a whopping $250 million, saying they sided with Lively without checking the facts and published a story that completely ruined his reputation. He's basically saying the media is biased against him and jumped on the Believe All Women bandwagon without considering his side of the story. This whole thing is a PR nightmare for everyone involved, and with Baldoni dumping all his texts and emails with Lively online as evidence, it's become this public spectacle. Everyone's dissecting every word, every emoji, trying to figure out who's telling the truth. It's giving the public a crazy, behind-the-scenes look at how Hollywood operates, how studios try to control narratives, and the often toxic relationship between celebrities and their publicists. It's like a real-life soap opera, but with way more money and lawyers involved. On February 2nd, Baldoni's lawyers basically dropped a bomb online. They released what they claim are all the text messages between Baldoni and Blake Lively from the time they were working on It Ends With Us. Not just that, they also posted texts from other people involved in the film and even updated their lawsuit against Lively with new accusations. According to Lively's side of the story, as told in her own court filings, she confided in her husband Ryan Reynolds that Baldoni had asked about her weight before a scene where he had to lift her. Now that sounds awkward, right? But Baldoni's version of events is completely different. He claims that on April 25th, 2023, Lively summoned him to her penthouse, where he was met by a furious Ryan Reynolds. Baldoni alleges that Reynolds went off on him, cursing and accusing him of fat-shaming Lively. He even quotes Reynolds as saying, "How dare you ask about my wife's weight? What's wrong with you?" This alleged confrontation is a key part of Baldoni's defense, and he's included it in his official timeline of everything that happened during the filming of It Ends With Us. So, we have two completely different stories here, and the text messages are supposedly the key to figuring out who's telling the truth. It's a total he said, she said situation, and the internet is going crazy trying to decipher it all. Baldoni's version of events, as laid out in his chronology, claims he did discuss the lifting scene, but not with Lively directly. He says he only talked about it with a personal trainer who was working on the film, presumably to figure out the logistics and ensure it could be done safely. According to Baldoni's uploaded documents, Reynolds and Lively were incredibly aggressive during the alleged penthouse confrontation. He claims their tone was so hostile that he felt pressured to apologize repeatedly, even though he maintains he'd only asked a reasonable good faith question to his trainer, not Lively herself. He even alleges that Reynolds demanded the entire lifting scene be cut from the film. Adding another layer to this drama, Baldoni claims Lively wanted complete control over her wardrobe in It Ends With Us. As the director, he felt the production team should have the final say, but he was apparently apprehensive about confronting Lively about it. There's even a text message included in the document dump where Baldoni tells producer Jamie Heath that he's about to have the dreaded wardrobe conversation with Lively, hinting at the tension brewing behind the scenes. Seeing her in 10, "Send me prayers. I'm just saying I've been ignoring my gut and there's a few things we need to course correct on. I'm terrified of saying the wrong thing. Talk after," Baldoni wrote, and people online are completely with him. One person wrote on X, "So Justin Baldoni messaged the producer and said, 'I'm seeing Blake in 10. I've been ignoring my gut, and there's a few things I need to course correct on. Send prayers for me. I'm terrified of saying the wrong thing.'" Blake Lively took complete control of the wardrobe, going $500,000 over budget for hers only, and she was rewriting the script when no one asked her to. This man hired the devil. All of Blake's movies are mediocre, but her inflated ego made her think she's some creative genius. She is why the movie sucked. Another added, "It's interesting that a film meant to highlight domestic violence against women is now exposing how some toxic women, like Blake Lively, men too." Instead of asking why Justin Baldoni stayed while Blake allegedly took over his movie and extorted him, more people should be asking why a woman with immense power, privilege, and influence like Blake chose to harm. Baldoni's latest move is accusing Lively of manipulating evidence, text messages between public relations executives that she included as part of her lawsuit against him in California. He's claiming she cherry-picked messages to show herself as a victim of online hate, while conveniently omitting parts that make her look bad. The drama centers around a particular text exchange between two PR professionals. Lively's court filings reportedly include a message where one executive expresses concern about the growing social media backlash against her, saying something along the lines of, "It's truly sad. It just shows how much people want to hate on women." This, of course, plays into the narrative of Lively being unfairly targeted. However, Baldoni claims Lively deliberately left out the response to that message. He alleges that the other PR executive, while acknowledging the unfortunate reality of online misogyny, then lays the blame squarely at Lively's feet. He quotes the response as being something like, "I know it is sad, but then, like, don't be a CT." She fecked herself by doing the unfollow thing and insisting no photos together. This second text, which Baldoni claims Lively omitted, shows a very different picture. It suggests that Lively's own actions contributed to the negative PR, rather than her simply being a victim of. The unfollow thing refers to Lively allegedly unfollowing Baldoni on social media after filming Wrapped on It Ends With Us. This seemingly petty act is now being presented by Baldoni as evidence of Lively's hostility towards him and a contributing factor to the negative publicity surrounding the film. He's arguing that Lively's decision to unfollow him, combined with her alleged insistence on not appearing in photos with him, fueled the online speculation and negativity. This whole scenario highlights how carefully curated PR can be used to shape public perception. By allegedly omitting key parts of the text exchange, Baldoni claims Lively tried to control the narrative and present a one-sided version of events. He's essentially accusing her of using PR tactics to manipulate the public and the court. It's a fascinating glimpse into the often cutthroat world of Hollywood image management, and Baldoni's apparently not the bad guy here. According to his version of events, by December 27, 2023, he was at his wit's end with Blake Lively's alleged demands. She had supposedly walked off set and only returned after being granted significant control over various aspects of the film, including intimacy scenes, dialogue, and other creative decisions. Baldoni's chronology includes an email he sent to his production team on that day, along with notes on his revised script. The email reportedly reveals his deep frustration and sadness over what he perceived as Lively's takeover of a project they had poured years of work and money into. He describes feeling like he's waving the white flag and giving in to 98% of what she wants. The email reportedly includes a raw and emotional confession from Baldoni. "So yes, I am furious and sad, but I will continue to get back up with a goal of getting us to the finish line." This portrays him as someone struggling to maintain control of his film while facing immense pressure from a powerful star. In the same email where he expresses his frustration and sadness, Baldoni also voices serious concerns about filming the intimate scenes in It Ends With Us, especially given the nature of Lively's alleged accusations against him. Remember, in this hypothetical scenario, Lively had supposedly left the set and issued a list of demands as a condition for her return. Baldoni reportedly confided in his producing partners, seeking their guidance on how to navigate this tricky situation. He expressed fear that even something seemingly innocuous or not meeting Lively's specific standards could be used against him, implying he was worried about further accusations or misinterpretations of his actions. This suggests a climate of distrust and paranoia on set, with Baldoni feeling like he was constantly walking on eggshells. He poignantly adds that creativity is impossible in an environment shrouded by fear. This statement speaks to the alleged toxic atmosphere surrounding the production, where artistic collaboration was seemingly replaced by suspicion and anxiety. In a bold move, Baldoni supposedly released raw footage from the It Ends With Us set in early February. His aim? To directly refute Lively's claims. Accompanying the footage, Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, issued a statement claiming the videos, allegedly filmed on May 23, 2023, clearly demonstrate that Baldoni behaved professionally and respectfully. The statement emphasizes that the scene in question was intended to portray the characters falling in love, and that both actors were acting within the parameters of the scene. However, Lively's lawyers fired back in a statement to Newsweek, offering a completely different interpretation of the footage. They allege that Baldoni improvised the entire scene without prior discussion or consent from Lively, and crucially, without an intimacy coordinator present. They also highlight the power imbalance between Baldoni and Lively, pointing out that he was not only her co-star, but also the director, head of the studio, and therefore, her boss. The statement goes on to assert that no woman should have to take measures to avoid unwanted physical contact from their employer. This reinforces Lively's claim and frames Baldoni's actions as a misuse of his power. Justin Baldoni is now claiming that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds pressured him to take the fall for the negative publicity surrounding the It Ends With Us production back in August 2024. Baldoni has apparently launched a website, Imagine the URL Drama, on February 1st, dedicated to revealing his side of the story. This website reportedly contains a trove of chats, emails, and other communications involving everyone from Baldoni and Lively to intimacy coordinators and producers. He claims these documents disprove Lively's allegations and expose the pressure he was under. The most explosive claim? Baldoni alleges that Reynolds and Lively drafted a statement for Wayfarer Studios, essentially dictating the narrative they wanted the studio to present publicly. He claims they even threatened unspecified consequences if the studio refused to release the statement. This shows a picture of a power struggle, with Lively and Reynolds allegedly using their influence to control the situation and protect their image. It adds a whole new dimension to this legal battle, turning it into a fight over who controls the narrative. It Ends With Us was a troubled production which we take full accountability for. We are very sorry to everyone we caused upset to privately and publicly. Blake Lively, Colleen Hoover, the entire cast and crew led with professionalism every step of the way. Any negativity aimed at them is ours to own, the draft allegedly stated. The supposed draft further detailed why the film's cast was promoting the film separately. We mutually agreed that the cast would be promoting the film separately and understood why. We have always said we are not perfect, and even if unintentionally make mistakes, we will always own them. We hold ourselves accountable. We are learning and growing from the experience, it read, and this legal battle is apparently hitting Justin Baldoni where it hurts, his wallet. According to his attorney, Brian Friedman, The ongoing dispute with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is costing Baldoni a significant amount of money, but he's still not backing down. Justin Baldoni's updated lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds now reportedly includes detailed notes from an intimacy coordinator. Notes that, according to Baldoni, Lively herself didn't even bother to attend the meeting for. The amended complaint, supposedly filed on January 31st, claims Baldoni was put in the awkward position of having to relay these rather explicit notes to Lively. He alleges he even went to her New York City penthouse, at her request, to discuss the proposed intimate scenes, and the notes themselves, well, according to the lawsuit, they're pretty graphic. They reportedly include suggestions for a scene where Baldoni's character performs oral Lively's character, leading to mutual oral and involving foreplay. Including these details in the lawsuit certainly amps up the awkwardness factor in this already uncomfortable scenario. It also raises questions about why Lively allegedly wouldn't attend the meeting herself, and why Baldoni felt obligated to relay such sensitive information. According to Baldoni's claims, Lively, at 37, allegedly expressed discomfort with portraying on screen, feeling she was too old for that. Baldoni claims he tried to find a compromise, presenting alternative suggestions based on the intimacy coordinator's recommendations, but ultimately, Lively allegedly rejected all of them, opting to rewrite the scenes herself. This portrays Lively as someone who wants to be in complete control of how she's portrayed in intimate scenes, which further fuels the conflict between her and Baldoni. It also raises questions about the balance of power on set and the challenges of collaborating on sensitive material. These notes would later serve as the foundation for Lively's complaint, where she accused Baldoni of talking about his own life and inserting unnecessary scenes with Lively's character. The court documents also claim, referring to Lively's allegations of Baldoni's legal team is now directly challenging Lively's claims about the filming of her character's birth scene. Lively had alleged that the set was chaotic and crowded, lacking standard industry protections for her privacy, and that she was only wearing a small piece of fabric to cover herself. Baldoni's lawsuit, however, depicts a different picture. It claims Lively was wearing black briefs, a pregnancy suit covering her midsection, and a hospital gown over her top. This directly contradicts Lively's account and aims to portray her claims as exaggerated or even fabricated. The timeline of this feud gets a bit more complicated here. According to the narrative, Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department in December 2024 and subsequently sued Baldoni, accusing him of and attempting to damage her reputation. Her complaint also includes a rather shocking allegation that an all-hands meeting was held to address Baldoni's behavior, where he was reportedly told to stop discussing his past and showing Lively videos or images of women. This adds a whole new dimension to the alleged conflict, portraying Baldoni in a very negative light. And that wasn't even the only weird thing she did on set. Baldoni is alleging Lively went way over budget with the wardrobe for It Ends With Us. According to his lawsuit, a whopping $185,000 was initially allocated for wardrobe, but Lively allegedly spent a staggering $615,000. He includes what he claims is an email from the line production, dated April 25, 2023, which reads, "To date, wardrobe already spent $615,000, and they need their cachet cards all replenished because they've only shopped for Justin and Blake." This suggests that a significant portion of the overspending was attributed to Lively's wardrobe. The email continues, "They had to reshop everything for Blake after creative changes, but it's a lot of money." This implies that Lively's alleged demands for creative changes led to significant additional expenses. The line producer expresses concern, stating, "I trust them, of course, but want to keep you all posted, as this is way more than I've ever seen a wardrobe go over budget with the initial spend." Baldoni's lawsuit further alleges that Lively disregarded his vision for her character and dismissed the work of the wardrobe team, who had spent weeks shopping and preparing her wardrobe. It claims Lively sent hundreds of images to the costume designer, even late at night, dictating the style she wanted for her character. This paints a picture of Lively as a demanding star who disregarded the budget and the director's creative input, and now everyone's coming for her. The legal drama has escalated yet again, with Lively being hit with another defamation lawsuit, this time from a crisis PR firm called Street Relations and its owner, Jed Wallace. This new lawsuit, supposedly filed in Texas federal court, stems from Lively's earlier complaint, where she accused Baldoni's PR team of orchestrating a smear campaign against her. Wallace claims Lively wrongly named him as part of this alleged smear campaign, causing him millions of dollars in reputational harm. Interestingly, Wallace wasn't actually named as a defendant in the lawsuit Lively filed against Baldoni and his PR team. However, he alleges that he was falsely and widely reported as a defendant, creating confusion and damaging his reputation. He's essentially accusing Lively of being careless with her accusations and causing significant damage by associating him with the alleged smear campaign. It seems everyone is coming for Lively, and the legal bills are probably piling up on both sides. Apparently, all of this is reportedly taking a toll on Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Sources are telling TMZ that the ongoing legal battle with Justin Baldoni is causing the couple severe anguish. Lively is supposedly emotionally zapped by the constant lawsuits, and the whole ordeal has taken a deep emotional toll on both her and Reynolds. Despite the apparent stress, the source claims Lively remains confident she'll win and is determined to get this all buttoned up. She reportedly believes the entire legal battle is a sideshow fabricated by Baldoni and his lawyers. So what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. If you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.